For number 3, here's how to approach number 3. You told x4y represent successive and consecutive terms in an arithmetic sequence. X3y are successive terms in a geometric sequence. Calculate 1 over x plus 1 over y. Okay. So if these are parts of an arithmetic sequence, I know 4 minus x equals d, right? I also know y minus 4 also equals d. Does that make sense? So 4 minus x must equal y minus 4. If I clean it up, x plus y equals what? 8. So you want to start by doing something like that. Like just take whatever information that you know about that particular sequence and make it a relationship, make an equation. So I already have an equation of all x and y now. If I have another equation of x and y, I'm home free. And I solve for x and y, I'm done, right? So now geometric. These are geometric. So 3 over x, would that equal the ratio, the common ratio, right? Because those are consecutive terms. Wouldn't y over 3 also equal r? So doesn't 3 over x equal y over 3? If you cross multiply, what do you get? Xy equals 9. Now I got two equations, two variables. The problem is if you try solving right now by substitution, you could say x equals 8 minus y and substitute. You are going to get a quadratic equation that's really nasty. And that's for anyone that actually going that direction. You could. Or you could say x equals 9 over y and substitute that in for the purple equation. Regardless, however you slice and dice it, if you do substitute, you're going to wind up getting a quadratic equation that's not factorable, meaning you're going to get two answers that are really nasty with radicals, right? But here's the thing. Did the question even ask for x or y separately? It didn't, right? So if you get a little creative, can I combine these two? Sure. What's your LCD? Okay. So you have y over x. Sorry, y over xy. My apologies. Y over xy plus x over xy. Geez. Do it again. If I combine it, what do I get? What's y plus x? What's xy? Done. That's the kind of thinking I want you guys to do. I want you guys to get creative with this. This is what I'm trying to help you guys get better at, right? Is efficiency. Efficiency is what you want. Okay, let's look at another one. Now, by the way, 5 was a little bit nuts. I should have actually cropped that one off. We'll come back to 5 in a moment because 5 does require a little bit of outside knowledge of sigma notation, and that's a little bit nuts. So we could talk about another one. I'll go over 5 in a moment, but is there another one you guys want to talk about? It's really burning.
7.
7. So let's see 7. Okay, great. Okay, 7. The sum of B and C is 30. Sum of A and D is 35. These are integers, mind you. They go in a geometric sequence, okay. And the sum of the squares of the four numbers is 1261. Okay. So, we know that B over A equals C over B, which also equals D over C. I'm not sure if that helps, but just get it out there, right? Like, what the heck? Let's see what we know how that helps us, right? Actually, it does help us because these two ratios have to be the same, right? Consecutive terms. So if I just focus on those two, and if I wind up cross multiplying, what happens when you cross multiply? That's a true statement, right? Because they gave me that in the first two bullet points. That's why. B plus C is 30. And A plus D is 35. Right. Why those two specifically? Because I had some information about them in the first two bullet points. But how do I establish in the first place? Using the third bullet point, right? The third bullet point helped me establish that.
Yeah.
And then the first two bullet points are tied closely to that. Okay. Still, I'm not out of the woods yet. What was that? They have to be. Right here. A less than B less than B less than B.
Yeah, but they could just be like that. There could be numbers in between. I mean,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It could just be like an A, another term, then B.
Oh, that is interesting. Oh, because it could be the first. Okay, I think you have to say that. So I don't know how else you're gonna do the problem. I see what you're saying now. Because what if there's some terms in between eight? I understand now. If they're not spaced out equally. I think that's what I'm assuming. I'm assuming it's spaced out equally. True. Because what if like A is the first term, B is the third term, and C is the eighth term, and D is like the 100th term? That is right. I would need to be clear about that. I'm pretty sure that's what's happening here. I'm almost certain. Um, but let's come back. Yeah, that's interesting. But here's the thing: I'm still not out of the woods yet because I still need another equation. Emma, go ahead. Well, they follow a pattern where you multiply, but they didn't say there were successive terms in a geometric sequence. And I think that had to have been stated. Um, yeah, that's interesting. But let's see what happens. The sum of the squares, so a squared plus b squared plus c squared plus d squared equals 1261. Let's assume it did say successive. I'm going to go with that. So, okay. Um, now we could, so that now I got four equations and four variables, right? So I feel good. It's just going to get a little nasty here, but my inclination is to isolate B here, or C. It's up to you. It doesn't really matter. If you want to isolate C, you have 30 minus B. If you want to isolate D, you have 35 minus A. So then if I focus on this, BC, that's going to be B times 30 minus B equals A times 35 minus A. And ugh, how am I going to isolate again? We could do this. A squared plus B squared. Hold on. It's kind of driving nuts a little bit here.
Is it like relevant to write down the relationships between the like B and A, like B over A and C over D, like make it like D squared equals CA and like C squared equals BD, or does that not help?
Sorry, repeat that again.
Like
B squared.
using the three,
You could.
but this I don't think
Um,
it does it.
well, B squared equals AC and C squared equals DB. I'm not sure that helps us though. So what were you saying, Marie? You're saying what? So you're saying B squared equals AC?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like how do you figure out what's relevant? In, like, the
I'm just trying to
relationship?
reduce variables. That's all I'm trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do here. So in this case, yeah, I know C is 30 minus B. And D, of course, is 35 minus A. And the whole thing is 1261. Okay, and if I were to clean that up, I get A squared plus B squared. I'm not sure where I'm going with this. I'm just taking a leap of faith. Plus B squared minus 60B plus 900 plus A squared minus 70A. What's 35 times 35? That's 1225 equals 1261. Okay. So 2A squared plus 2B squared minus 70A minus 60B 1261 minus 12225 minus 900 equals negative 864. And if I clean this up, 30b minus b squared equals 35a minus a squared. If I move things around, a squared minus b squared equals 35a minus 30b. If I were to, ooh, okay, I got this. I'm gonna have to do this in the board because I'm now, okay. Yeah, I've got this now. If I were to multiply the equation off the left corner by 2 and combined it, I think I'll get one of these letters to cancel. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do this on the board. I know I'm recording this, so yeah, so if I did this, a squared minus 35a minus b squared plus 30b equals 0. I'm gonna do a little rearrangement. A squared minus b squared minus 35a plus 30b equals 0. If I bring the other equation back into the mix, we'll stack it. 2a squared plus 2b squared minus 70a. Is that minus 6 or plus? Correct, yeah, minus 60b equals 864. Multiply this one by 2. Bring it down here. 2a squared minus 2b squared minus 70a plus 60b equals 0. What happens if I add the equations? What goes away? Yep. So 4a squared minus 140a equals 864. But divide both sides by 4. A squared minus 35a equals 216. A squared minus 35a minus 216 equals 0. And multiplies 216 as a 35. 27 and 8. Is that right? Does that work? No, hold on. No, but it has to be negative.
I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be plus, because over there on the green it says equals negative 864.
You are correct. Thank you for catching that. So we are home free then. Thank you for catching that. It's gonna go crazy. So a equals 8 or 35.
27.
27. Duh. Sorry, 8 or 27. Okay.
And it has to be.
And so if A is 8, and B is 27,
Oh yeah.
and if that's true, elsewhere we have hold on. And then C equals that. Hold on a sec. And C, how are these related? Oh, B squared equals if B over A. Or we do know BC equals, yeah, we know this, right?
B over 8 equals 27 over C, and C equals 30 minus B.
Yeah, and so then we can, yeah, we can also say 30 minus, yeah. So 30 minus B times b. So 0 equals b squared minus 30. I promise I'll do this to you guys. This is really cool. Um, what's that being? 160. That's 216. The fact of that. Is that right? Yeah. What multiplies 216 out to the 30? What would that be?
12 and 18.
Oh, wow. Look at you. So b equals 12 and 18. Yep. So you have 8, 12, 18, and 27. The kind of ratio is 1.5. There we go. Yes, you had to say they're successive to make sense of this. You have to. Yeah. That's a really great problem. I like that problem. That is too much for a test. Yeah. I thought 3 was a good one. I thought 3 was fair. I thought that was good.
Yeah,
7 was nuts. All right. I could do one more. And then after I do one more, I'll have you guys do the quiz. And then after you finish the quiz, we'll just work on the rest of these problems up to number 16. And just ask me, I'll come around and help you guys out. Anytime during class. If you finish the quiz before other people, I'll come and help you. But we are going to work on the rest of these problems. We're going to spend more time on this in class on Wednesday for sure. And I also have the thicker packet. I'm going to hand out the thicker packet today as well, if you want that. Have I gave you guys the other packet yet? Yeah, I'll do that today. Okay, what's another question I want to ask? 6, all right. Yeah, that's a good one too. Okay. Let me write the board. Okay, so the interior angles of a pentagon forms a sequence when the interior angle is 90. Find all possible values of the largest angle in the pentagon. Okay. Now, I would just do this because you guys probably forgot. N minus 2 times 180 is the sum of all angles in a polygon. In case you guys forgot that from geometry. Those are juniors. Don't tell. I won't tell Ms. York. She'll get upset at you. So, you have 5 sides or 5 angles. So it's 540, right? Subtract 90, you get 450, right? So 450 for the remaining 4. Okay. Well, here's the deal. I think I made the assumption that 90 was the smallest angle in this progression. Mainly because if you divide 450 by 4, you're gonna get like 112.5, which there could be you don't have to be integers, right? But the thing is that I don't see how you can go any lower than 90, right? And have this make sense to me with progression. Like I just the way it's being chopped up. So, but I would think I think I'd be okay with telling you it is a smallest angle. I think I'd be okay with that. But I think let's go with that assumption, right? If I go with that assumption,
Answer key is that either the first or second.
the 90.
And we tested if it could be the.
Well, let's assume you know what? Actually, it did say find all possible values. So let's assume it's the smallest right and see what happens. Let's see what happens. So I assume it's the smallest, then 90 plus 90 plus D plus 90 plus 2D. Why do you think I'm doing this right now? What do each of these represent? Yep, each progression. 90 plus 3D. And let's just see what happens. Equals 540. So you get 450 plus, that's gonna be what? 10D. So it's 10D equal. So D is 9. So you could have 90, 99, 108, 117, and 126, which should be fine.
The largest angle is 20.
So 126, right? Now, I made that assumption, right? What if, right, it's the second smallest angle, right? So we have to see if it makes sense, right? So 90 minus D plus 90 plus 90 plus D plus 90 plus 2D plus 90 plus 3D equals 540. So 450 plus 5D equals 540. D equals 18, I think. So you have 72, 90, 108, 126, and 144. I think that's right. Yeah, that also works. So 144 is another possibility. I'm pretty sure 90 is not going to be the biggest angle. That's for sure. Could 90 be, and how do I know that I've exhausted this? Because what if you get a negative angle? That's a problem, right? Can't have a negative angle. So then I would try 90 as the middle, right? Let's see if that could happen. What if 90 is the middle? If 90 is the middle, 90 minus D, 90 minus 2D, yeah, we're gonna have a problem. You guys see where I have a problem? Yeah, equals 540, but that doesn't make any sense. So there's two possibilities, right? Everything cancels and then you get 450 equals 540. That's weird. So yeah, okay. So does that make sense how to approach that one? Okay. All right. So once you guys, we'll start the quiz.
Did you get the set up on?
Oh, just yeah, I just trust you guys. Just good. Yeah, it's fine. There's a little bit of a typo here. It says no graphing calculators. Don't worry about that. Because each question was 5 point. That's also crazy. I just forgot to get rid of the top instructions. Bottom line is you get the table on the back side, you get the question on the front side. This is actually real data. This is a COVID number of cumulative COVID deaths in San Francisco. The wasn't surprising, so actually more than it all. But still, death rate is high. So we're going to fit it logistically. You know what comes to that? That's the end. And of course, vaccine came out about a year after COVID. But it's vaccine or nothing in the world. Yeah, so let's go have at it. I'm gonna do it too because I haven't done this yet. I want to see how this works out. So, if anything's wonky, I'll let you know.